Hey everyone, this is the DPW podcast and we are live from the Glass House at DPW Amsterdam. I'm Ishaan, your moderator, and with me here is Arash from Mithra-AI.
Hello, everyone.
So pleasure having you here. I hope you're having a good time at DPW Amsterdam.
Fantastic, full of energy.
Yeah, that's what we like to hear, right? This podcast is really about you and your story. So let's start on a personal note. What inspired you to start Mithra?
I was always entrepreneurial, so I started my first company when I was 18 years old, back home. Since I moved to the Netherlands, I was always looking to start my own venture, and it started with one of my best friends, Arash, who was always nagging about the data challenge in procurement. At that time, I was doing AI for self-driving cars, and I told Arash, look, you're spending way too much time crunching data in Excel. That doesn't make sense. We can build something much better for you in 2 weeks. It took a bit longer. We ended up spending a few years on the ground, interviewing many companies, many procurement professionals to figure out what are their shared challenges, what really is the issue for them, and build the product slowly. And fast forward, we are at DPW for fourth time, I think.
That's super nice story. Coming together with friends and starting a business together. And you, of course, your friend was indeed in procurement. So what makes your solution unique to procurement? Because we have a lot of solutions in data analytics, but why is your solution so important for procurement?
So there are many solutions out there in this space, and that shows how big the problem is, first of all. Because of the importance that the industry feels toward this category, there are also many solutions out there. So the way I like to look at it is about knowing the procurement, what really matters for procurement, and the technology. So I like to look at the value that AI provides to procurement in layers. You can provide at the bottom with raw data, you can provide at master data level, reporting, planning, but also strategic procurement. At every level, AI can provide some value. So what we do that is making us special is helping our customers to have a customized pipeline of AI at all of these levels. So we help them, first of all, to have a clean layer of raw data and have control over that. So what is really tough to get right is the interaction and user experience to give the ease of use of AI without having the hassle of complexity in the background. So that is what we figured out, how to give back control of the data to procurement professionals. And on top of that, keeping them in the loop at all of the layers. So from data layer to master data, reporting, planning, but most importantly, the thing that most procurement professionals love is strategic procurement, category management, negotiating and managing relation with suppliers, but also that type of activity. So the strategic procurement, basically. That is, we are very happy that today actually we are releasing a new feature with our agentic layer that provides the capability to talk with your data, essentially to have a ChatGPT-like type of experience, but having access to actual data and creating custom reports that you can share with your colleagues, and have a procurement professional that actually knows a lot of topics in procurement, in the strategic procurement, and can guide you navigate the rope.
That's super interesting, and congrats on that. Would you want to give an example of a prompt? If you were a procurement professional, what kind of prompt would you provide on your tool, and what would the output be?
Yeah, so this is very interesting that you asked this. So the one thing that is very challenging is tail spend, because tail spend is really category dependent, and it depends on the context on which you are asking the question. So I always encourage our customers to ask that question, because you always are confronted with some surprises. It actually first looks at the characteristic of the data and decides, okay, this is the criteria that fits best for having a tail spend analytics, and provides that. So the prompt would be, give me tail spend in category logistics or marketing or whatever, professional services, whatever that makes sense.
Cool. How long has your journey been as an entrepreneur with Mithra?
With Mithra, considering all the time that we spend on the ground, it's about a little bit over 5 years.
And do you have like a success story or a customer win you would like to share in this time?
Yeah, so I'm proud of all of them, of course, but the most recent one really speaks to me because it is one of our Brazilian customers, giant gas and energy company. So in the early days of engagement, they were really pushing us to be fast with the results. And that's also what we differentiate compared to the rest of solutions. So we take pride in being fast. So when we started the journey with them, the moment they gave us the data, of course, in the week 1, we gave them a customized taxonomy, week 2, sample of categorization, and week 3, the entire spend cube was ready for them. And after that project, they shared with us, and we had no idea, that before engaging with Mithra last year, they hired 3 consultants from a very well-known consultancy firm for 4 months, having full support of the organization, and they achieved the same result but not repeatable. So they were in the background comparing the result of Mithra with work of 3 consultants. And that was a big surprise for us, and we are very proud of that.
That's really, really exciting to hear. I mean, I can clearly see that there's some value you provide in the procurement market, and you've tapped into something right there. Could you maybe elaborate on what you feel is procurement's future and your part in that future?
The way I like to look at procurement is, again, layering it in terms of tactical, operational activities that procurement do, creating reports, emailing, looking at day-to-day things. And then there is tactical decisions like providing a RFP or doing a supply day, that type of activity. And then there is a strategic layer. So the way I look at technology with the pace that AI is going with agentic AIs, I believe most of those operational and tactical activities are going to be automated fully. And what remains for procurement professionals is the strategic procurement. And that is why essentially we focused on strategic procurement, because we believe at the end procurement is about human relationships, and you need to understand the context of the organization, you need to know who is who in your organization but also with your suppliers, and that is the topic that AI cannot take over. But you need to enable procurement professionals with the right tools at the right touch points with the data to be able to take advantage from AI to be able to do the job that they love to do in a strategic procurement.
That's super interesting. Thank you for being here. You talk about human relations. I know you're building them here. I hope you're meeting the right type of profiles, and that's really exciting to also hear about your launch. Is there any one last note you would like to give to our audience?
Yeah, we are offering exclusive DPW participants taxonomy health check. So you can check our website at mithra-ai.com/connect and fill out a form there. And then there you can get one of the 20 free taxonomy health checks that we are offering to DPW participants.
Thanks, Arash, for being here. It was a pleasure. I hope you enjoyed this podcast, and stay tuned because there are a lot more founder stories and more about the unique products that they offer. Thank you.